Welcome back to Next Audio Europe with the very last panel of today's program. And of course, indeed, it will be a very interesting one as the whole journey today. We are going to talk about telecom and mobile operators' opportunities in audio streaming. So let's welcome Frank Wilkat, digital radio consultant, Baris Zavaroglu, Director of Media and Entertainment at Turkcell, and Pinie Wang. Hello, everyone. Yeah, Editor-in-Chief, Pinie Wang, Editor-in-Chief at A1 Xplore Music. Frank, Baris, and Pinie, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Welcome.
Well, we are going to start with Frank and with a very general question, but I'm also going to ask you to introduce and explain briefly what you do. I mean, in the case of Frank as a digital radio consultant, and then Baris and Pinie, if you can explain a bit what your company is about, what you offer and everything. And then we will start with the questions.
Okay, my name is Frank Wilkat and I'm consultant, especially digital consultant, and I'm the old school here in the panel, so to say. I'm transforming the radio stations, converting them from the FM to the digital. And this is the biggest task right now. We have a lot of FM listeners and now we need to get the digital listeners, and we learned one big lesson. It's a totally different game. So let's see what I can do here as old school part of the panel.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. So my name is Baris. So I'm one of the leading telco operator in Turkey, Turkcell. I cover digital media and entertainment business. When we say digital media and entertainment, we have four main categories. The first one is TV. The second one is game. The third one is music. And the fourth one is digital publishing, including podcasts and audiobooks. Okay, thank you.
My name is Pinie Wang, and I work for A1 Austria Group. A1 Austria is a leading telco provider in Central Europe, including Austria, Bulgaria, Slovenia, Croatia, North Macedonia, Serbia, and Belarus. And we have launched A1 Xplore Music by Deezer since last year, December. And we have a strong partnership in music streaming where we focus on editorial partnership.
Thank you very much to the three of you. And Frank, let's start with you because you said you are the old school here. But why is that? I mean, what's the trend right now? How would you describe the landscape right now about the streaming services versus FM radios and the transitions and maybe, you know, consuming both of them? How do you see that, Frank?
Yeah, if it comes to Pinie, who said they did a huge cooperation with a partner for the digital audio part, and they do it not with the local radio stations. They are doing it with Deezer. Deezer is a great company. But here you have the big point for us. We are the local FM radio stations that needs to transform into the digital part of the world. And we need to get in the same game, in the digital game. And the internet using of internet radio is exploding everywhere. If it comes to America, you see more than 50% of audio listening, radio audio listening is by digital devices on the digital way. And so all the FM radio companies are right now in the game learning the new digital way of broadcasting. So, and this is where we are working on all the details, and especially telecom operators like we have here in this chat, very good partners because they are sitting where our listeners are.
And well, you help FM radios, and Pinie works at A1, and they, they partner with services. But Baris, they have been, and Turkcell, they have been very brave to launch their own stream service. So can
yes,
you help,
exactly.
Can you tell us about that experience, because it's not the usual, and I think it's very brave.
Yeah, I mean, indeed. I mean, being an operator, I mean, you have two options. The first one is to collaborate with the other brands, okay, or global or local, or to establish your own brand and compete directly, I mean, in this environment. And we decided, I mean, it has been almost 5 years, and we decided to go ahead directly on music streaming service. And we decided to establish and launch our own music service. And we did it, by the way. And in the last 5 years, I mean, it's very challenging because, I mean, the global companies are very, very strong. I mean, we are competing with Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer in the country. And but we know the country, okay. We know the taste of Turkish audience, and moreover, we have some advantages because in Turkey, the local contents, not only in music, in everywhere, I mean, is the winner. I mean, in the total streaming of the music, almost 78% counts for Turkish local music. I mean, also we have agreement with all the major studios, I mean, including Universal, Warner, Sony, I mean, Orchard, Believe, etc., all. But the local one are the strongest in the country. So we also took this advantage and switched to our opportunity as well. And it worked very well. And I mean, it is 100% paid subscription business. Okay, it is like, I mean, it is like Apple Music. And we have also just launched the ads side as well, advertising business. But I mean, it's going well. I mean, we are, I mean, in terms of number of subscribers, I mean, we are number 1 or number 2. I mean, Spotify and I mean, Fizzy together. No. And I mean, this is the music one. On the other hand, on the digital publishing, we established our own, I mean, digital publishing brand where we put all the magazines and newspapers in it, okay, in the country. But then we discovered that, I mean, people needs, I mean, reading is not shouldn't be only option. So for that reason, we switched all the articles, okay, to audio. Okay, it is a kind of audio magazines, okay, and it worked very, very well. And then we also put, I mean, podcast, okay, completely different business, but it worked very, very well. So, I mean, if you are in the entertainment business and if you decided to go ahead with your own, so definitely, I mean, video and audio is the winning part of the media and entertainment business, especially in our country.
Thank you, Baris. And Pinie, tell us about your experience about A1, of course, because it's not only local in one country. You also oversee and manage countries in Central Europe and not only Austria. How's your experience also creating content and partnering with other external providers?
I definitely can say the same thing with local content like Turkey. Austria, 70% are German language music actually will be streamed on the platform. Also in Bulgaria, very, very strong pop folk genre. And even in the Balkan area, the major labels have really difficulty to get in. And I think that's what Baris said, with take advantages to approach the customer more directly through local preferred music. We can observe these trends in our countries as well. And also the same with the trend also into spoken content as well. So the consumption of podcasts is also because the COVID-19 has a big impact on that development as well. We can see a really more consumption on that matter as well. So that's also the reason we focus in partnership with Deezer and co-producing podcasts for Deezer as well.
Thank you. We're going to deepen on that later. But Frank, tell us, have you, well, it's natural with all these options for the listeners, and especially the fact that we can all personalize our content and not just wait randomly that our preferred radio station is going to play what we want. Radio is naturally threatened, but have you found, and it's natural also that they need to transition, but have you found, Frank, resistance? It's something that I also asked in previous panels, resistance from radio broadcasters in doing this change, this shift. Will they prefer just to die in their own style, in their own ways of doing things, or are they aware that they really need to change?
Oh, I think, yeah, of course, they're totally aware of the situation. And my question to Baris is, have you ever thought about cooperating with a local audio radio company, maybe as a partner, instead of just doing all by yourself? Because they're offering a lot of good stuff, like good personalities and also a lot of experience in music. And if it comes to that point, I would say it would be a great partner instead of having Spotify, which is also a great company, but not at the end local and experienced, like 20 years, 40 years, 50 years of experience in radio broadcasting. I think they have a lot of knowledge in Istanbul and surroundings about the audio content, and especially about the music. I talked to Pinie a little bit in forward, and she was talking about some special music in Bulgaria. And I remember that we really know that in radio for 50 years, that this kind of music is very special and very needed. So isn't there a good chance, let's say, to cooperate if local music is so highly valued, that you cooperate with the radio stations that have this experience? Huh?
I mean, currently we are working, by the way, Frank. I mean, in our services, I mean, we just, and we don't have only songs. Okay. By the way, we cover approximately 55 million songs throughout the world. Yeah, I mean, we have agreement with all the majors, or indies as well. But for the local radio, yes, we are also carrying the local radio stations as well. This is one of our advantages.
Yeah, I saw when I was last year in the United States, I saw the iHeart Media Group did something very clever. They're doing cooperation with the streaming services and saying our cool and young brands now offering, let's say, also for the price of what you have to pay for an abo, and doing it under the brand of the great local radio stations. It's just still like your company in the background offering the infrastructure, but in reality, people are coming to the local famous radio station for new music and then using on-demand audio with your platform. And
exactly.
that came to my mind when I saw this with A1 and doing that with Deezer. I think Deezer is a great idea. The guy working there, I love them, good partners. But I think the radio experience could be very helpful because radio have all the things you need, huh? Besides the music, you're talking with the majors.
I think actually right now radio cannot be replaced. I don't think that radio station can be replaced, but not because of music, but because of information. I think this is the small part the streaming platforms cannot provide to the customer, real-time information. So what's happening? So where's the traffic jam? So all this information, if the streaming platform is able to implement this kind of feature in real time to give information, localized information to their customers, I think that's the time where radio station get obsolete. But right now I don't think is the case. And I think this is definitely a kind of change for radio stations to cooperating with streaming services.
And if it comes to radio stations and what we are doing about the future, I could say many of the radio stations thinking right now about digital personalities. You have the morning personality in the radio, but many of them now thinking, what can we do in the digital world with our personalities to blowing them up, making them bigger, so that you get especially at the telephone companies, maybe a new partner with the great personalities, what is attractive, I would say, for Turkcell in the same way like it is for A1. So some unique content is what we're working on. And if you see it comes to RTL Group, they're doing cooperation, for example, in Germany with the German Telecom and having their full portfolio and putting that on Magenta TV and both take profit out of that. It is the same like it was. I think it's over, but in the United States, AT&T did that with the Warner stuff, something like that. There was also a good cooperation. I think both sides could take a lot of profit from that. I think we should speak with each other.
Do you also develop podcasts with telcos or other kind of companies? Because if you have the personality, if you have the recording experience, are you because there are so many media agencies right now doing the new content, but I think the radio people, this is something they can do best actually.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. So I think we are a good place here talking to each other because we do that in the reality more often.
Tell us, Baris, what's the advantage of creating your own streaming services versus partnering?
I mean, there are many advantages, but the first thing, I mean, also a very challenging thing, by the way.
Yeah, you can share with us also the challenges you come through.
Yeah, first of all, you create the brand. I mean, the brand belongs to you. And if really your dream comes true, then, I mean, this brand will be maybe much more valuable than a telco company, indeed, okay? Because this is the new era of the digital and the new era of music. And once we decided to go ahead with this decision, we said that, I mean, this job should be done completely with the music mindset. Okay, so telco shouldn't interfere, okay, any decision about music. Okay, so for that reason, we recruited, I mean, a very professional team from the music environment, I mean, in the country, and we go ahead on that mindset. This is the first thing. The second one is also as a telco, okay, you need to create a story, okay, because in the telco, telco is very standard business. You are selling, I mean, call, I mean, you are selling, I mean, data, extra, I mean, it's the same. But when it comes down to digital media, okay, it's completely new. It's something completely different area, okay. So for that reason, the company has decided to create a story with all these brands, with all these digital brands, okay? And instead of partnering with a local or global, I mean, brands, we decided to establish our own brand in all these categories. I mean, TV, music, digital publishing, and gaming, okay? I mean, that was the idea behind that.
So you're using that stuff to differentiate yourself from the competitor.
Exactly. I mean, because selling data, I mean, is very, I mean, is very common thing, okay, or cellular phone, okay. So, but selling digital media and digital services and brands, I mean, it's completely different.
What have been the rewards of doing so?
I think the value of the company increased, okay, and Turkcell has, was very successful in the global media in terms of the digitalization, okay. The value of the company has increased indeed, and the third one is that all these brands has its own value now, okay. Fizzy, TV Plus, I mean, all our brands has its own value, okay? And we created these values and we have completely different subscribers and we create the value by creating all these brands, okay?
So do you see yourself in competition to other telephone companies or to, let's say, to Spotify and Deezer or to radio stations?
I think both.
Who is your competitor?
I mean, in terms of the, I mean, the brand, I mean, in terms of, for example, music, yes, we are competing with Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer. okay? But as a mother company point of view, okay, I mean, the company has invested because it requires a real investment. It is not it is not a cheap business, by the way, okay? And the company has really decided to invest, and also it worked for Turkcell as well. So two things. The first one is you created your own brand, and you are competing against all the global brands. And second one, as a mother company, it worked, and the value of the company has increased.
Thank you, Baris. And Pinie, on the other hand, you have launched a partnership with Deezer, and it's also an editorial partnership. And you told us yesterday that you are creating local content for 7 countries, and you are creating also your own content. So tell us about that challenge, because it's seven countries with different regulations or different cultures, of course, different languages. It's quite a task.
Yeah, definitely. And I also see it's really important to have local content for the local customers, because we know international platform like, Spotify, Apple Music, they don't really often, they have their editorial team in some main countries, but like small countries like Croatia or Slovenia or Austria, there's no localized team. And to make this product more service-oriented, to make our customers like the service more, we need to go with more localized content. And also the same, the so-called value-added service, a lot of telco go with Spotify or Apple Music to put them into their portfolio. This doesn't really make a difference. But if you say A1 Xplore Music, we are having our own playlist, and we focus on local culture and content. And this is a added differentiation towards the other platforms. So we make more interesting for the customers, that's for sure as well. And and each country has their own music taste, that's for sure. So you cannot have the same content in Austria like for Bulgaria, this is really, or Belarus, where we have 3 main regions. So the German-speaking area, the Balkan area, and the Russian area. So we cover our footprint cover all these 3 really divided, differentiated areas. So it's really challenging, but also very interesting. So we know our customer more, what they like. And also we are creating podcasts together with Deezer as well to make the application more desirable and interesting.
And so what are the? No, just go ahead, please.
I'm sorry. I mean, you mean that the application is Deezer, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So you are creating the content on behalf of Deezer. This is what
we
you mean?
have our verified curators account. So actually, everyone can upload playlists into those platforms. But we have a certain verified curators account where the playlists have more can be more better found and more displayed. And on top, the A1 users will have a kind of a customized front page. So the A1 playlist will be visible on the front page. So we have our own dedicated playlist carousel. So this is also differentiated other products as well.
Okay.
And the playlist covers are co-branded, so with both A1 and Deezer.
And you guys, how many of the users you have, of the clients you have, how many come because of the media packaging you're offering? So for example, if A1 just cut off the Deezer stuff and it's just A1, how many less users you will have as a telephone company? How much add-on means that in contracts?
You mean add-on for the normal telco contracts?
Yeah. Is it like as a normal telecom company, you have 1 million clients, and now you have offering the media package, like Baris told us, and now we have 1.5 million clients because of the media package.
Frank. I mean, in our business, this is how the mathematics is exactly what you mean. Okay, because there is subscriber for telco, But in addition to that, we have dedicated subscribers for our own digital brands. Okay, this is the mathematics for us.
And do you still offer subscriptions for the other streaming platforms?
You mean the other telcos or the other platforms?
No. The other platforms, like we talked about it yesterday. Do you still offer subscriptions through your system for Spotify? I mean, they are kind of your competitors, Spotify
No. As a telco, all these brands, I mean, even Netflix or Spotify, okay, they have the payment options with the telco. I mean, this is a mobile payment. Okay, I mean, you are doing this one. Definitely, because I mean we are also a telco company as well. So I mean all these digital brands and digital companies, they have the agreement with our company for the mobile payment system. Definitely, this is something different. But to subsidize subscription, something different. We are not subsidizing any subscription.
Okay, that means you doesn't kill Spotify in Turkey because of your offerings, right?
No, we are not killing. I mean, in the music business, Frank, I mean, since all the royalty calculations are the same, okay? So you all must pay 70% of what you earn, okay? So for that reason, I mean, we cannot put cheaper price, otherwise it will be completely minus business. You cannot do that. So for that reason, our shelf price is completely the same as Spotify or Apple Music price.
Okay, so that makes sense that we work together on all kind of directions, as far as I get it. If we have personalities or if we have knowledge, and if we have local brands that maybe support your brand at Turkcell, that would be helpful. Both partners, the same with A1, and we need to cooperate because you have the digital listeners, we have the digital programs and the digital thought for the people. That maybe makes sense that we work together. Beside that, radio is creating the next level, and the next level of radio means in streaming that you have a hybrid system. So what you have right now on your platforms that you can skip and move to the next stuff. This is what radio is now generating. They're creating streams where the listeners can decide by just saying next song, then you play the next song, and the client behind is registering, okay, this song should not play it to this guy anymore. So this is what radio is doing, the next level. Moving from FM to digital means having a hybrid audio stream that is more based on what the listeners want one-to-one.
Yeah, but I mean, now on demand is the most attractive part now. Okay, and this is the new trend. I mean, not only on audio, on video as well. Okay, so I mean, in the TV industry as well, the linear channels also lose all their interest as well. Okay, but also technology changes. Okay, I mean that, I mean, in your car you listen mostly radios. Okay, but in the new cars, okay, highly technological or the digital cars, okay. Now also, I mean, for example, now we are talking with car manufacturer, okay, to embed our platform into the car, because all the cars will be connected.
Yeah, it's the same what radio stations are doing. They have their own player and talking to the car industry and implementing their player system into the cars.
Exactly.
So that means we are in the same game. A lot of competition there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, get that so far. Wow. Okay, it's getting hotter. But you didn't kill Spotify so far. That means the local radio is still alive in Turkey?
Yes, still alive. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, definitely downsizing. No, I mean, but still alive. I mean, they start. I mean, definitely. I mean, it is a struggling business. They try to find. I mean, advertising. This is. I mean, how they. How they compensate themselves, but they still alive. But most of the radios also try to find a solution how to switch to digital as well. Okay, not easy, by the way. Okay, because playlist business versus on-demand business completely different. Okay. So I mean, But definitely playlists are very, very important, still very important. But let me give you an example. 4 years ago, we had a team, quite crowded team for the playlist, different for all genre, rock, pop, rap, etc., etc. But now still we have, but not that much, because AI, artificial intelligence, creates now amazing playlists. Okay, so technology changes. Okay, you create an amazing playlist, but definitely human touch is different. I still believe in human touch. Okay, but at the end of the day, this artificial intelligence thing, will change many things in the industry. Recommendation engines, for example. Okay. So Frank, so for that reason, I don't know. Okay, but streaming.
I see it the same way like you do. But I think still at the end, if it comes for, let's say you're doing an R&B stream on your platform and you have an expert on that there, who is a very nice guy, a very great personality, everybody knows in Turkey, then everybody won't listen to this guy, and you could do with your AI whatever you want. It will just go down to nowhere.
I agree, 100% I agree. Yes,
because
definitely.
People love to listen to
Exactly.
people,
Yeah.
and especially if you have, let's say, personalities, they know what they have to do.
And also, you cannot really leave a software to program the playlist. This is not going to work because there's just so much fraud right now in the streaming service. There's always, you need someone, a person to do the quality check at the end of the day. So,
Yes.
so we cannot replace a machine now with the editors. It's not possible.
So then we are competitive, but we need to work together, huh?
Exactly.
You know, as a consumer, because I'm a music lover and listener, and I use a couple of these streaming services, and when I'm looking sometimes for one song, and then I get as an aggregate a whole playlist that I didn't do and I don't like. And then they start playing those songs for me and I don't like them. So I start forwarding until I find something that I like, but it really doesn't work for me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. So yeah, of course.
We have created a stream where you can wish your song and it will play automatically right now just for you. Sounds like the right offer?
Yeah, of course.
So you see, radio is coming back in the digital world.
Absolutely. But I wanted to ask you, because most of telcos partner with streaming services and not with FM radios. Why do you think is that, even though there's a huge opportunity as you have described?
If you ask me, I think the radio station needs, like you have in Germany, the RTL group, or there's a bigger group, or the Wilkat group. A lot of radio groups are organizing. Like in America, you have iHeartMedia, what is a huge radio company, and then you could cooperate with these. If you have to cooperate as Turkcell or A1 with every local little radio station, I think this is a huge game to handle that at the end. With so many different partners. So I think that could be an issue for radio, that they organize themselves country-wise to become local digital champions together.
Yeah.
We are getting into the last 10 minutes of the session and the very last minutes of the whole event. So I invite also the audience, if you have questions for our speakers, please send them in. And in the last part, in the last 5 minutes, we are going to ask them. So Pinie, what do you aim to achieve with your partnership with Deezer at A1? Especially, is it at a local level and as in a global level too?
Yeah, actually global and local in the same time. What we are focused on is to engage more local artists. So we really want to make them more visible in Deezer app and in order to communicate our products. So I think artist marketing, this is a new way of communications and make the music service with more credibility, more local appearance, and so that's what we are focusing. So on actually get into local business to promote local artists.
Actually, there's already a question. I'm going to ask it right now for Pinie. Does the Deezer integration also have an impact on A1's TV business? What is the proposition of audio in the context of TV?
That's a really great question, because we are integrating Deezer into A1 TV. So this will be an additional smart TV solution. So for everyone who has a A1 Deezer account, they can also listen Deezer on TV as well.
Excellent. So we are heading into the last 5 minutes of the panel. Do you have any final thoughts to start wrapping up and give you the proper time to just express yourselves at Baris, Frank, or Pinie?
No, I think it's okay, but I mean, either you become an aggregator, okay, you make the deal and agreement with one or many of the DSPs, okay, or you create your own story and you just establish your own brand. I mean, these are the two ways for the telco industry now.
Okay. But when you just came up with that idea of launching your own streaming service, did they tell you, are you crazy? Did you face resistance, or was it something like natural?
Yes, of course. I mean, we heard so many things, definitely. I mean, but I think it was not easy, by the way. I mean, it's very expensive, okay, because it requires a serious investment, right? Okay, because we are not talking about only content, okay? In terms of the engineering, in terms of the software development, extra. I mean, there is a huge endeavor and expenses, okay? But we decided to go ahead with our own brand, not only in audio. I mean, we did the same in TV as well. We created our own brand. I mean.
So the risk paid off.
By the way, yeah.
Yeah, it paid off.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So we are just in the very last minutes. If you have some last minute question in the audience for our speakers, now it's the time, because we are in the last 3 minutes. Frank, some final thoughts?
Yeah, as far as I learned it here, I think we have to cooperate, definitely, to take radio to the next digital level with you as partners. On the other hand, you're strong competitors, as far as I get it, from A1 and Baris. A1 is doing our local music, and Baris is just doing our own business. So I think we need to speak urgently. Radio stations and telecom need to speak urgently together, that we could take profit from each other. That is very clear for me after this panel.
Pinie, final thoughts?
I wouldn't consider that we are competitors. I would say that we are partners, even though Fisi is with the product in Belarus as well. So, but I really don't see that we should compete with each other, but rather, have more communication, what we can do together. And I think radio cannot be replaced. I'm listening every morning. Radio station, but through Alexa, and but really information competence of the radio stations, this is something right now only you have, actually.
So that means we have to integrate the radio in your system. Let's talk.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Cecilia.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you very much, Baris, Pinie, and Frank. It's been a very, very entertaining, educational, and interesting conversation. The very last panel of our next Audio Europe event today by the Taxis. I thank you for your being here, the three of you, and also for joining us from the audience. And I am going to hand it over back to Priscilla, so she will wrap up the whole event. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Cecilia. So we have arrived at the end of the next Audio Europe. We hope that you enjoy all the panel sessions. We would like to thank all our speakers, attendees, and also a big thanks to our sponsor. So you can visit our website, dataxis.com, for our upcoming event. Thank you very much and see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.